Welcome to the Fantasy Hotline,
where we talk about your wildest fantasies.
Elves, dragons, gnomes, weird systems of money, chosen ones, and more.
We're your hosts. I'm Claire.
And I'm Chris.
Does anyone notice anything a little different about me?
I do. No more glaring nodes.
Yeah, my nodes were, they were so big that everyone could see them.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It was so gross.
Bulging nodes.
No.
Actually, my doctor said they were very small.
Oh, so you were
and
ripped off.
The surgery went well.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And
Claire was on vocal rest.
Yeah, I couldn't talk for 12 days.
I couldn't do it.
It was really hard. I want to say I learned a lot about myself, but
how'd you communicate with people?
I had a whiteboard.
Okay.
I had that little app that we debuted last episode.
Right. Oh yeah.
Which kind of worked, but
I tripped over my huge pussy.
Yeah, I tripped. Excuse me, sir. I'm so sorry.
I've tripped over my huge
pussy. Yeah, I kind of wanted
funny.
us to say it together.
Yeah, that was good. We haven't been practicing.
No, we haven't. Not for hours and hours. Yeah, it was more stressful to be home with my parents because my mom would not stop asking me multifaceted questions that did not have yes or no answers while she was not looking at me. And so I'd halfway finish writing the answer to one, and then she'd have three more questions fired
Claire,
off.
why are you not responding?
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if
was
that's
like,
what your mom sounds like.
No, but it's okay.
That would be stressful.
Yeah, so I ended up going home to my apartment after
Earlier.
5 days and being like, I am so much more at peace.
You just sent going home, and they were trying to ask you things, and you just were like,
I was in the car. I was like, I really understood the versatility of the thumbs up gesture.
Oh yeah, that can be aggressive too.
Yeah, I went to the lake, and one guy was like, how's the water, as he was biking by, and I just was like, thumbs up, silent smile.
He's probably like, oh my god.
He's like, what happened?
She was terrifying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Did you what did it feel like if you tried to talk?
In the beginning, you also can't cough or laugh or clear your throat.
Whoa.
And you have to go on this diet with no spicy, no caffeine, no tomato.
No.
So I was kind of just in a daze of not I love coffee. I drink so much coffee every day.
I feel like I understand coffee and spicy.
Tomato has a lot of acid in it, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And no citrus. So that was the part that really sucked, because those are all the things I like.
Because you had scars down in your throat.
In my throat.
In your throat. I don't know what accent that was.
I don't know.
I
It's
don't know
kind
if
of
I was allowed to do it.
To me, it was medieval, 45-year-old Polish Southsider from Chicago.
Oh,
but
cool.
Holding an axe or something.
On your throat.
Yeah. Terrifying. And you're like, I'm looking for pot sticker house.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I felt like when I went to my post-op appointment, I was like, does my voice sound different? That was the first time I talked.
It sounds normal.
Yeah, my doctor is like, yeah, a lot of people think that, but you sound exactly the same.
Yeah, you do.
You just haven't heard your own voice for
If there's
2
anything
weeks.
that can prove it, it's this right here.
Yeah.
What we're doing. We have records.
It's the ultimate test, yeah.
Of what your voice sounded like before and after. We should give it to your doctor. He could sponsor this.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Dr.
Dr. Brandon Baird.
I was going with bee noises, honestly.
That works. And I did find out from my physical therapist that he trained under the guy that did Adele. So I feel like I lucked out.
You're kind of famous now.
Yeah, I mean, watch out. I might start unprompted start singing Rolling in the Deep. But I will say what I did a lot of on vocal rest was reading. And after I read Taggerung, which is our book that we are discussing today,
by
Chris's pick.
By Brian Jacques.
Brian Jacques. And I tore through 4 more because I was addicted.
You just did a bunch more Brian Jacques?
I did Mariel of Redwall.
Whoa.
The Bellmaker.
Okay.
And one of the newer ones, The Sable Queen.
I did some traveling, so my reading wasn't as much. I read this one book called Son of the Storm.
Ooh.
Which started off so promising.
Oh no, was it bad?
The world was so cool that he built, but it didn't feel like it he explored a whole lot. It was just and it's the same here and the same here. And it was we get it. There's a big empire that reaches everywhere and is able to spread its culture in ways, but it was just kind of, I don't know, it just got repetitive.
Yeah.
And then I started like kind of cracking open his like use of I just don't know. It just wasn't very creative writing. It just got so boring after a while. It was such a good idea, and I liked the characters, but then they didn't. I liked them at first, and then I was like, well, this guy hasn't even grown at all. They're like, yeah, I don't know.
Do you feel like it's a laziness thing with when a writer has something like that, where it's like, everywhere is the same?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I have this empire in a whole world, but literally everything the same. I think
it was so cool. It was so different. It was like, it's written by a guy who's Nigerian.
Oh, cool.
So everything was like, instead of being like very European, everything was very African, like sub-Saharan African. And it just had like really cool, like way different than anything I've really read. It kind of opened my world to that whole like subgenre of fantasy. There's tons of African fantasy writers, and I want to read other ones so I can find a fucking good one.
Well, we are, because my last book pick is kind of in that category.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we'll be able to circle back.
Hell yeah. Yeah. It was so promising, but yeah.
I hate when that happens. Did you finish it, or did you
Yeah,
have to
oh yeah,
give
I
up?
had to finish it. I honestly kind of realized too late too.
You're like, wait a minute, I haven't been liking this book at all.
Yeah, 70 more pages. I realized it was like only 70 left, and I was like, God, fuck. I feel like it's been starting the whole time. It is book one. It's book one though. So I think I might read book two in the hopes that
you're a masochist.
Well, in the hopes that maybe, one of my favorite book series, Red Rising, Pierce Brown. The first book was so much worse than the rest. And
really?
He's like grown as a writer. Like by the most recent one, he's just like so much. He's way better.
That's so fascinating. I felt like I really loved. I had the opposite with the Aragon books. Like I loved the first one, and then by the third, I was like, "This is a poor man's Lord of the Rings."
Oh yeah.
Like every fantasy trope is showing up in a really boring way, and this is why I can tell you're like a 23-year-old when you wrote this or something.
Those books were so cool when I was little.
And they tried to make a movie out of it that tanked.
Oh yeah, tanked hard. It was very Lord of the Ringsy. Like the bad guys were wearing hood. They were like literally ring wraiths. Like it was. Yeah.
And it was like, oh, there's one dragon egg left, and then at the end, he's like, I have to go live in a tower far. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, you mentioned. I kind of want to reread them.
I tried to listen to it on tape once too, and the voice they gave for the dragon was just as bad as in the movie. I was like, just make them sound normal.
That can ruin a book.
Yeah.
Like totally. I've heard really good things about Brandon Sanderson's Lightbringer series or something. It's like an epic.
Familiar.
It's super long, but the guy who reads it is just like, and then there were the same, and here is this character's voice, and here's a different character, and guess what? This is also their voice. And I'm just like,
very boring.
Oh yeah. But anyway, that was the opposite with the book that we just read.
Yes.
I listened to it on Book on Tape too.
You're addicted to Book on Tape.
I do. It's kind of what it's just bike around or honestly play FIFA and listen to a book on tape. It's a great day.
I would do that with the Tamora Pierce books in the beginning of the pandemic when I was working, which was that was like my bread and butter as a child. Tamora Pierce, like Horse Girl origin story, basically.
I feel like a lot of people did go back and do all that stuff, that nostalgia that you like. I went back and played Rome Total War and all those Total War games, which were games I played in like 5th grade. And I logged so many hours on those. I can't remember if it wasn't Total War, because I feel like it was more a civilization or something, but there's some shortcut where you could get Corvettes with machine guns on top. Oh, that's not Total War.
No, definitely not Total War. But anyway, I would build my civilization up and I would be like 12 years old and be like, come on, do this the right way. Like, don't get the Corvettes this time, Claire. And then I'd just be like, I gotta get them.
There is a similar one in Total War where you can do a cheat to get Oliphants, like from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and then the game's over.
Yeah, you destroy everybody.
You basically have a nuclear weapon. No one else has a 4-story elephant.
No, and that's okay. Should we talk?
Yeah.
Should we talk Taggerung?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Yeah, we read it. We might as well talk about it.
Well, do you want to give your pitch of the summary?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Heck
first?
Yeah. So an otter is stolen from his family in a most tragic and brutal way, and raised outside of the I mean, I don't know what raised outside of the norm of what his species would normally be raised. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a lot of flipping of. Never mind, that's not really.
Wait, you just inspired me.
Huh.
I was going to say, Brian Jacques plays with his moral universe.
Yeah, he does.
As an otter is raised by vermin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you said it. So that's what I was trying to. You succinctly wrap. Good job. You could be a voiceover actor.
Hire me. Hire me.
So yeah, it's about a guy who's raised by vermin, but he comes from the non-vermin part of the world, and he's trying to solve the mystery of who he is, while meanwhile his sister, who he was separated at birth, is trying to solve the mystery of where she's from, kind of like where she lives. Like there's a little mystery of Redwall that she's getting dragged along on.
Her character development is like, who will lead? She's trying to figure out who's going to lead the Redwall Abbey. And could it be her?
No, not me, right?
Yeah.
And then hijinks ensue.
Hijinks ensue. I feel like and then of course we get like the classic vermin backstory that is happening. Mm-hmm. There's at least always 3 plots.
Yeah, these 3 plots were Mira, Taggerung, and Grimbalo.
Oh, no.
Nimbalo the Slayer.
Yeah, I love him.
Oh, he's so funny.
He's Gomph with more syllables, kind of.
Oh yeah, he literally was he's just like little feisty Gomph.
Yeah.
And then and then Grooven was the third.
Pathetic loser Grooven.
Yeah. You kind of felt bad for him, but he's also just like such a coward, and he killed all those people.
I know. Okay, so I felt like this was a book where it starts off action-packed right off the bat. And it was sad. You get this beautiful vignette of a baby otter just being born, and his dad's like, "Oh, I gotta take him down to the water," and he's got to swim. And the mom's like, "Are you sure, honey? Don't go." And he's like, "I'll be back in like 10. I love you."
Yeah.
And of course, this is when the band of vermin show up, murder him,
because they're looking for the Taggerung, which some witch fox, which there's a lot of those. There's a lot of witch foxes. She predicts that the Taggerung will come from the Redwall Abbey.
Yes. And it's kind of fun because you get to a little worldly perspective of how Redwall is perceived at this point, because we're pretty late in the overall series of all the Redwall books. Like this book is one of the last like 7 or something that Brian Jacques ever wrote. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's close to that. And so at this point, he has like a history of Redwall, and so all the vermin are like, we are so scared of Redwall.
Yeah, that place has kicked our ass a bunch.
They've defeated all these villains, and he like name drops Clooney, and they're like, we got to get this baby and go. And meanwhile, Redwall consistently understaffed when it comes to defenders.
Oh yeah. Oh, how funny was what's his name? The hare.
Oh my gosh, what is the hare's name this time?
Oh my gosh, he was so funny. He was singing songs like in the narration.
Was it really good?
Oh my god, so funny.
He's smiling. Gers is smiling like a little baby.
He was hilarious. And then he would always end a sentence with what? And I feel like the narrator, like I was like, is it written? Is he saying what this many times, or is the is the narrator just taking complete artistic license and adding in a couple extra whats? Like he was so funny. And then it wasn't Basil. No. Oh darn it. So. Yeah, I read it, and then read a book in between, which was a problem, but couldn't stop. Definitely no, we won't be reading that book I read in between in the future for this podcast.
We're all trying our best.
Yeah, I feel sorry. I feel bad for.
He's a comic. Oh, Boorab the Fool.
Oh yeah, Boorab, who's, and then what's the Badger Mom? Crega the Badger Mom.
I wrote in all caps in my notes, Crega, my heart, sweet Crega.
No, she was like a cute old blind lady, basically, but was a warrior.
Yes, if you are like fans of Redwall, which if you're not, like literally why are you listening to this podcast? She has previous appearances where she defeats Damug the something, and she has blood wrath so badly her eyes are always red even when she's like completely normal.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like eating breakfast, she looks like she could kill like 100 vermin.
Terrifying. The badgers are just like huge cave trolls that they just
basically
keep around.
Yeah,
magic giants. Yeah. Crega Badger Mom.
So cute.
And Mira are like buddies, and basically Mira is being groomed to be the next
Let's use a different word.
That's a bad
Groom's
term.
not. We
Yeah.
can't. We just
Groom.
pass on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It's not. But she is. She's being groomed for success in a non-Christelia way.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
We just have to say this is because it's a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
He's tainted
He's
the waters.
Not a bunch of hymns out there.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. She's being trained, and Reared's also bad.
Well, okay. I think so. But once we get the kidnapping over with, essentially, we have like a couple more chapters of everyone being sad and kind of the setup of what's going to happen with Sawney Wrath, who is our main villain, at least in the beginning. He's the guy who orchestrates Dana's kidnapping. But then the book jumps 15 years ahead.
Yeah.
Or question, when he says seasons, is that?
I think it's
years.
Right? Yeah. Like 15. They just pick like winters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
I overthought it a little bit.
So yeah, we cut to Dana being grown, and he's like a badass warrior. But the catch is he's never killed anybody.
Yes, and so Sawney Wrath is like, I need to force him
to kill.
And
he doesn't.
Twist.
And then
JK.
what? And then what happens?
He run away.
He run away.
He run away. I'm still working on my sentences.
Yeah, she's new to talking, you guys.
I am.
These are new nodes.
No, there are no nodes.
There are no nodes, so it's hard. I don't know how the body works.
You're doing great.
I'm good. Yeah,
I was taking feedback very well.
I was raised by Varmin. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, so he runs away, and he's like good. He's like, despite being raised by all these like shits and bad people, he's a good person.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like going back to what I said earlier about Brian Jacques' moral universe. Essentially, it's like despite when it comes to nature versus nurture, he's fully nature.
Yeah. So he's running away, and he's there's kind of a little sneak peek at how badass he is as a tracker. So obviously he's going to be hard to.
He's like the ultimate
find.
warrior.
Yeah. He like kills people with their own. Well, he doesn't kill people. He like just beats them the heck up with his tail, which is hilarious.
I love that. I feel like it was really fun element to just be like, yeah, his tail's always like knocking people the fuck out.
Just going across the realm, beating people up with his ass.
Yeah.
That's a good guy.
So he refuses to kill this fox and then escapes. And then we get like the vermin intrigue.
Yep. The vermin intrigue is that Grooven is like. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
No. We have a Midwestern standoff here. Oh no, you.
Oh no. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh no, you can go. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So Grooven thinks he should be the next leader because his mom's been like whispering that in his ear the whole time, and then and Sony goes and Sony's killed.
Yeah, so Sony goes to chase Taggerung and then gets killed by Grooven's mom and Tigra, which is a great name.
Great name. And he's so good at names.
He's so good at names. Like Juskarath, the name of Sony's tribe, sounds so scary.
And the Juska. That's just like what they call all these like land pirates, basically. So yeah, Sony's killed, and then there's a vacuum left, but the whole tribe basically abandons their like land and where they usually like rove to just go after the Taggerung.
Yeah, so Grooven goes after the Taggerung through like political machinations from his mom with like a bunch of the cool bad guys, like the most dangerous killers of the tribe, to track him. So to
backtrack a little bit, a Taggerung is like the chosen warrior of the Juska, and everyone thought it would be a vermin, but it ends up being this otter that Sony kidnapped, and
he's a birthmark on his paw.
That means he's the Taggerung. But the catch is everyone wants to kill him because if you kill the Taggerung, then you become the Taggerung.
Yeah, so it's a little interesting because it's like, was Sony's dad, who was the last Taggerung, like how did he become the Taggerung?
Yeah.
Like if you can kill the Taggerung and then become the next Taggerung, what happens when someone's born with the birthmark? I
don't know.
We'll never know.
It was kind of just left out.
And it was like, all right.
Yeah, so they go after Tag, and he doesn't know his real name. He knows his name is Tag, and he's having these really cryptic dreams the whole time.
Of guess who?
Martin the Warrior.
Always showing up to give almost good advice.
Almost good Jesus-like advice. And then they're traveling. He's trying to get to. He doesn't know where he's trying to go. At this point, he's just running away.
And he's randomly like, "I want to go to the mountain." I was like, "Wait, does he go to Salamandastron in this book?" Because I don't remember that happening from when I read it, and he doesn't. He just like needs to go far away where he needs to get to Redwall in the nick of time, basically.
And he picks up some buddies along the way, which the main one is Nimbalo the Slayer.
The Slayer, I
who's
think,
like a little field mouse
with severe PTSD from his abusive father, which I thought was like a little bit more like realistic, I suppose, in terms of who his characters are.
He can be grim.
Yeah, this was a very grim book. At one point, Nimbalo and Tag are with the shrews who practice ritual shrew sacrifice.
Yep, they give them to the fishy snake. The
fishy snake, big eel.
Yeah.
And then they're also killed by Greuven.
Who collapses their home on them.
Yeah, he causes a landslide and murders them. And they're eating, there's a really gory scene. I wish I like wrote this down, but they're eating raspberries or whatever fruit like among the dead bodies of the shrews.
Yeah. It's wild. It's brutal. If it was like people, this book would be rated R. But because it's cute little furry forest creatures, it's
10-year-olds.
Yeah, it's for preteens. So yeah, and then they end up making friends with like these hedgehogs who are kind of like rough and tumble forest hedgehogs, and they're cool, and they just go on this journey. And Greuven's outed as a coward several times.
Greuven ultimately is just on full loser behavior the whole book. He cannot operate in any other realm. He's
constantly lying. He's trying to be a cooler person than he is.
Everyone in his little band knows it. They all make fun of him. And those guys, I love how he does this, where he just takes like 3 plots and then it's like he just keeps adding more plots. It's like, oh, these vermin, well, they're gonna split up.
Yeah.
And then
So basically, they all end up approaching Redwall.
Yeah, everyone's kind of coalescing on Redwall. Okay, before we get into like the second chunk of the book, I wanted to say that about, there's like, I just wanted 3 paragraphs maybe on what Dana, aka Tag, felt while he was growing up. Because it's like he leaves the Jessica Wrath and then he meets these voles that help him. And he's like, yeah, I just was living with these guys, but something just didn't add up. So I left.
Yeah.
And it's like, so what were you doing? Like, were you growing up? Why don't you have any fatherly affection for the creature that raised you?
Yeah.
You already know they're so terrible and bad. So why were you even staying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know a little bit more about his relationship with Sonny. And the reread, I felt like that was something, I would say it's still a good story, but to me that was missing. I wanted more insight into who he is, which is obviously something that Brian Jacques doesn't like to necessarily do. And you get like a smidgen about what his life was like in the tribe when they have the one survivor when they fight, or the one person who didn't escape when they fight Greuven and his little friends after they kill all the shrews.
Yeah.
Whose name was Rawback.
Oh, yeah.
And Rawback's like, yeah, we never got, like, you learn that Tag was essentially kept secluded from everyone in a tent and never really exposed to them.
Yeah, he was kind of this, like, spoiled brat, and he kind of accepted that he was spoiled, but I think he enjoyed being away from all of it because he didn't have to do any of the nasty stuff that anybody... He was like doted upon.
Yeah, he was.
It sounds like, and but it sounds like he kind of.
And I just wanted like something to be like, Tag realized as he grew older that he was not not a vermin. He's an otter. Like something terrible must have happened. There was just none of that.
Yeah.
And I felt like that would have made the book even better.
Yeah.
For me.
The moment of clarity was.
Yeah.
The moment he decided to run away just seemed like it had less to do with the fact that he knew that something was wrong with the circumstance of his whole childhood.
Yeah.
Rather, it was, I don't want to kill anybody.
I know. And I was kind of thinking, why wouldn't you go find some otters, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
he was fine with everything until they made him kill someone.
Yeah. Like, how long would have he would have stayed?
Yeah. It kind of shows he did kind of adopt the vermin, like, morals, just so long as they didn't make him do any of the nasty stuff.
Yeah, he like averted his eyes or like was shielded from it or something.
Yeah, plenty of people were killed in front of. He was like that fox that Sony wanted him to kill. He was like, no, you kill him. Like I don't care if he's killed, but I'm not gonna do it.
He was very passive, and so I'd like to know. I wanted to have like the moral complexity of the character struggling to understand that he didn't fit in, rejecting it, and then like. Why essentially
he kind of just could do no wrong. He was written in a very like he was majorly the hero with no flaws to confront, even though they were there.
I know. And ultimately this book still made me cry 3 times.
I know. So they get through all the forests and make it and have to several ambushes to escape and extra little side quests and stuff like that. And they finally get to Redwall, and Redwall's like under siege.
Yeah, so
from 3 vermin who are pretending to be more than 3 vermin.
Yes, so when Groovin's little group splits up, the Valug Bow Beast, also like such a good
great
name.
And he's the guy who actually killed his father.
Yes, he's the one who killed
Dana's
Real Flag.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's name, how do they say it in the book, or when you were listening to it on tape?
Who's the other guy again?
Ethera?
Oh, I think, darn it. I don't know. I don't remember.
I just thought it was a really cool name.
Yeah.
And
Ethera.
So they tried to kidnap some Dibbins.
Oh,
but then the Dibbins escape them. Mira saves them.
And is Dibbins just the word for children?
Yeah.
Basically?
Mm-hmm. So cute.
Is that a British word?
No. Poppet. My dad called me Poppet when I was little.
That's adorable.
I know, isn't that cute? But
Poppet.
Yeah.
I freaking but if it is my Dibbins Clare.
I'm sure Dibbins was like Brian Jacques being like, what's like almost as good as Poppet?
Yeah.
But like can be used in mass.
Yeah. I wonder if there's some British people that are like, Dibbins is a word we all use.
He stole it.
Yeah.
I did love the Dibbins, like in this book especially, like the little mole baby named like Dirt or something. That's not his name, but
there was another side characters, the squirrels.
Oh yeah.
Floor or something.
Fwirl.
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 Yeah, Fwirl, and the guy with the stutter who
loved to sing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what was his name?
Well, we're killing it as a podcast team right now.
Well, it's like,
my bad.
No,
I should have done better with the outline.
It's okay. I am thinking of other squirrels' names because I read so many Redwall
many,
books after. I'm like
Lady
Roof
Amber.
Brush.
Yeah,
exactly. Nope. That was Mariel. Oh, that was Bellmaker. It was with a B. It's okay.
It's okay. He had a stutter, and
listeners, forgive us.
Yes, sorry. Please just scream it out at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they all have this big confrontation at Redwall Abbey.
Yes, all the forces combine, and which is like what he loves to do. He's like, everyone's going to get to Redwall.
Yeah, but so that was kind of how that guy, the guy with the stutter, Fwirl gets beat nearly to death by, or like,
what?
Doesn't Fwirl almost die?
No, they shoot her with an arrow.
Oh yeah, they shoot her with an arrow.
I was like, wait, they beat up Fwirl?
No, yeah. No. Fwirl's like on her deathbed. And her lover boy, who's like one of the assistant chefs, I think.
Yeah. He's
like mad and sees Tag poking around the outside, and he basically kidnaps Tag, takes Tag as prisoner, surprises him. Yes.
So basically, in classic Jacques fashion, you're like on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh, gotta get to Redwall.
Yeah.
And they're worried about vermin, so when they see Tag, who has all these tattoos and like vermin accoutrement,
the earrings and bandanas and land pirate outfit,
they decide to kidnap him. And also Martin the Warrior has continued to show up to Tag in his dreams and being like, you need to go to Redwall. And he has this like, I'm actually getting emotional bringing it back up, but in the opening of the book, they have a song is sang to him by his mom.
Yeah.
And so in the dreams of Martin the Warrior, he starts to see his mom's face and hear the song again.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. So that's why he ends up, he's at Redwall too.
So then he gets kidnapped while while
Nimbalo.
I keep on calling him Grimwaldo or something. Which is, who knows what even that is. Grimwaldo. Yeah, that's like it's very serious. Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Grimwaldo.
I was like also thinking Wario.
Oh yeah.
Grimwaldo.
It's their cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't even like him.
No, he's not in none of the games.
Yeah, Mario and Wario don't like that guy. So anyway, Nimbalo also gets kidnapped simultaneously by the bad guys because he's a mouse, so they think he's a Redwaller.
Yes, and they want to ransom him.
So Nimbalo is held ransom at the gate, and they release Tag, finally realizing who he is. Sister Mariette?
No, okay, so I looked her up because I thought it was such an interesting name. Sister Alcanet. So she's basically the wet blanket.
Yeah.
She kind of is doubting Crega when she wants Mira to be the abbess. She's there just to kind of... She's like dunking on everyone all the time.
Burab makes fun of her all the time.
Yes, and I looked up her name because I thought it was an interesting word. and it's the common name for several related plants in the borage family.
Of course.
I was like, maybe her name means something about her character. Nope, borage family.
Nope.
No idea what the hell it is.
Just the borage family.
Yeah, as in, boring. Yeah, I'm a scientist. So I wrote Alkanet. Why so mean? We never know.
Yeah, she's just kind of a, who knows?
She's kind of a bitch.
She's kind of a sourpuss.
Yeah, she's a sourpuss.
So, but she ends up kind of coming to the rescue and letting Tag go.
No, she says we'll have to take it to the council.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
The fucking squirrel. I can only remember his boss's name, which was like Friar Boggle.
Oh yeah, Friar Boggle's young stuttering squirrel. Is like, go. You need to go.
Save your friend.
Yeah, go save your friend. And he basically just charges the vermin and decimates them all, but takes an almost mortal wound.
Yeah, and so also the heartbreaking part before that is so Nimbalo, he's kidnapped, but of course he's not going to lie still, and he escapes from them because they're like, oh, we're going to kill this Redwaller if you don't. And Craig is like, I'm going to stand up and address them. Like, don't worry, I'm going to get this. And so Nimbalo grabs his father's axe from Rawback, I think.
Yeah, who killed his father.
Who killed his father. Maybe it wasn't Rawback. Rawback, Bagrat. I don't know. Yeah. Because he recognizes his father's axe, and as he's grabbing it, he accidentally hits Valig Bobeast's bow, and the arrow kills Craiga.
Yeah. Slowly, she gets struck, and it's a mortal wound, but
she doesn't die right away.
Yeah, and then
Tag explodes out the gate.
Yeah, and then Tag explodes out the gate. Just ruins everybody except Grooven, who's a little bitch and runs.
Grooven runs by classic. Tag gets hit by an arrow in the heart.
And then, so Tag's basically dead. And then there's kind of another like in-between time.
Yes,
where Grooven's heading back to the Juska lands, and Tag is taken back to like an otter healer.
Nucky Barge or something
that. She's so funny. And then, what's his name? He's in...
Rucky Garge.
Yeah, Rucky Garge brings him back to life. And Grooven, meanwhile, is spinning a tale about how he killed the Taggerung to a like other Juska chief
who's taken over.
Who's a fox who's basically absorbed Sony's clan into his already big clan.
It's like a merger. It's like when a little startup gets bought by like PayPal or Venmo, and you can't just like mess around anymore, and you don't get free lunch or something.
So their little startup, Postmates, became a part of Uber Eats Juska.
Yes, actually. And this is for all you business heads out there. Maybe you can wrap your mind around it if we put it this way for you.
So yeah, basically.
So he shows up, he thinks he's going to create this lie that, oh yeah, I killed Tag.
And become the Taggerung, yeah.
I did feel like this part was a little drawn out.
Yeah, I know.
It took like 3 chapters of him just being like, I'm a big loser.
Yeah, and they come check out where the body is. Oh, the head's here. Oh, never mind. And then why did they end up going back to Redwall?
Because oh my God, I can't remember why. Like it really didn't stick out to me, which kind of, I think the purpose of this was that, so we got to... One, we had to wait, like the suspense of what happened to Tag as a reader. And 2, he wanted to show like who Tag could become or something like that. So they get to Redwall, and
Tag's already been healed and returned to his mom and sister.
Other point when I cried.
I cried, yeah. They did this whole like running down the road, open-armed, give me a hug type thing.
Well, okay, so I cried then. I cried when... he goes out to save Nimbalo. I also cried when Forlorn, his mom, like, it's like, what? I just saw the face of like my husband run by.
Oh yeah.
Cried then.
Yeah.
When she's like, Mira, it's your brother. Just kind of kept, maybe it's because I couldn't talk. I was just like silently sobbing.
Hadn't eaten that much. Hadn't had any of your favorite foods.
No spicy, no tomato.
No coffee. I'm gonna cry.
I'm so tired.
No spicy, no lemon.
Yeah, pretty much exactly
no
that.
No tomato. That's so funny. No spicy tomatoes.
No spicy tomato for me. So yeah, they had this big reunion scene. It's so beautiful.
It is. Yeah, I cried too.
Yeah.
I cried.
I feel like we were both texting each other like, are you crying?
God. Yeah. So then...
I'm literally just wiped away a little tear.
Yeah, thinking about it. They have this big showdown, though. So Tag basically becomes the warrior of Redwall. He's taken Martin the Warrior's sword for himself, and and everyone not objecting to that because they've needed a warrior to present themselves at times of need.
Yes.
And then at time of need, it presents itself when a huge army of Juska
show up,
led by this fox who's like way more cunning than cool. Sony ever was. He's kind of like mild tempered, like, yeah, we can absorb your company.
Yes, exactly. He's a private equity villain.
Yeah, he's got steepled fingers and he's looking over them being like,
So then through Groovin's like twisted web of lies, Ruggenbor essentially gets to become the Taggerung.
Yeah, by killing Groovin.
Tag is like, there's no Taggerung here, and he's all his tattoos and his birthmark removed by the otter healer.
Yeah.
So Groovin's like, yeah, I'm right. I am the Taggerung. And then Ruggenbor just goes like, and his head is gone.
Yeah, and then and then Burab saves the day because he knows the cry for like an army of hares that's just waiting for you to go, tally hare, from the Bura Bura Bura, whatever
what
they do.
Eulalia.
Yeah, Eulalia.
I think I also cried at this point. I was just
crying.
I was like, this is the payoff. It's great.
Yeah, and then a big old badger comes with an army of hares who are so badass.
Yes, I love.
We should read what's that book with the Watership Down?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I
saw the freaky cartoon and got scared.
Yeah, that's a crazy book. It's really good. I remember reading that when I was in like middle school.
I feel like every English book, I'm like, wait, is that about World War One?
Basically,
is that an allegory for World War One?
I think every badger is just a nuclear weapon.
Damn, consistently across English British canon. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Rossano the Wise shows up and saves the day and makes all the vermin crawl away.
Oh yeah, he does. And then everybody lives happily ever after, and there's a big old
feast,
vegetarian feast at the end.
Again, we don't know where the milk comes from. We don't need to know. We'll never know.
Who is getting milked?
Yeah.
It's a big conspiracy.
That is the question.
Yeah. Brian Jacques, you died with that secret. You took that one to your grave. Who's the milk?
Who is getting milked? Is just that's our podcast new tagline.
Yeah.
Redwall.
Welcome to the Fantasy Hotline. Who is getting milk?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should do an episode where we explore where milk comes from and like different.
In Redwall.
Yeah.
Oh, in every single
I was
one.
just going to say like milk and fantasy. What does it mean?
Oh my God.
Who's
getting really
getting
into
milked
it here.
And why?
I like that. But yeah, so it was a great book.
It was really so good.
I thought I almost wanted to like afterwards. I was like, I think I want to get like a Taggerung tattoo.
Oh my God,
I know it's so lame. But
would you get like this little birthmark?
Maybe I'll get the birthmark, or maybe I'll get the like the.
He's drawing something incredibly complicated.
Like the dagger or something like that.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Sony Rath's dagger.
That would be cool.
It's on
but
the
it's
cover.
Evil.
Yeah.
It's evil, Chris.
So
Whoa.
So am I.
Okay, things are getting a little twisted in the studio today.
Betrayal. Intrigue.
Next week there'll be like a different host and it'll be like, hi, I'm Claire.
I'm Claire. The vocal node's in. It's totally the same person.
Yeah, I'm the same person.
Chris is the best.
I feel like this was one of my favorite Redwall books.
Me too.
And it was really good. And like anything about it that I would criticize, I feel like just immediately I was like, I can forgive because it was just so well paced.
I want to read Lord Brocktree because that's got a badger as like the main character. I need to hear from a badger.
Lord Brocktree, I think, is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I reread Mariel of Redwall and as well as the Bellmaker, and the Bellmakers. I liked Mariel, but Bellmaker was really good.
I remember Bellmaker when I was little too. I mean, I'm gonna buy a bunch more Audible credits and get down. Yeah.
Okay. Should we talk about our next book?
Yeah. I mean, you go for it. I haven't even really heard about it. I've seen the covers.
Yeah.
It's very like classic 90s fantasy.
Yes.
Stuff.
Well, this is technically, I think this is 80s. Yeah, 1988. Yeah. And so this is essentially, there's 3 books with a couple novellas in them about these 2 characters, Tarma and Kethri, who are like...
What's it called again?
Oathbound. God, yeah, it's Oathbound. But there's also Oathblood and Oathbreakers. And Mercedes Lackey is like, I read so much of her stuff when I was a kid. I mean, it was like talking horses that have magic powers, and when you bond with them, you are like pure and can go do service for the realm. I was like, I will do anything to go to this.
I would like
book.
to be bound to a book Mercedes Lackey. All
She also
right.
has a wild name. It's a great name.
Buy more credits. All right. I'm in.
It's a little like, second wave feministy, but it's fun. And so when we originally talked about the podcast, I immediately thought about this because there's a specific short story in this collection that has a one scene that's incredibly violent, and I like reread it a couple of times to be like, wait, what? Wait,
Yeah.
what's
Mercedes.
happening? Like, so she really doesn't hold back on like the gore.
Oh, okay.
In a couple areas, and it's also like I don't want to say it's like a horny book, but there's like random sex stuff in there too.
You love
so
that.
It's like
you love to see it.
It's fun, and I think when she doesn't have her heroines like hold back. Like Brian Jacques, like, I can't kill him. They're like, no, slit his throat right now.
Hell yeah. Cool.
That kind of thing. So it's really fun. It's a fun world. So I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about it.
Me too.
Are we going to play Kill Fuck Me? Wait, we decided no bestiality.
Yeah, but let's imagine that they're all handsome men.
Okay.
Or are we doing no bestiality?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's still do it.
Forel's clearly hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Dana's probably got some hot. Like,
he'd be played by like Ryan Gosling or something.
I was thinking like Chris Evans.
Oh, yes, or with the other Thor Chris.
Oh yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
He'd be a Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. He's one hot, and then Forel would be like
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah,
she's like the only
Johansson.
Yeah, okay. She's like the only actress I know. I'm like, yeah, Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde, probably. And then like let's see here, who else? Mira is like nice and wholesome.
What about like Brie Larson?
Yeah. Brie Larson's a great choice.
Yeah, I want to like
Brie Larson.
Who could be Forel would also be Zazie Beetz.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because she's like cool, and action oriented,
and like deceivingly fast and great at fighting and stuff. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, so I mean, marry Forel, fuck Tag, because that's a lot of baggage.
Yeah,
you just kind of want to be like, he's probably a great one night stand, and then.
But he'd fall in love with you.
Oh yeah, but then you'd have to be like, listen.
It's not serious.
Buddy, I can't take on all of your emotional stuff right now.
Yeah.
We get it. Your dad was killed in front of you, but like I can't.
You don't remember that anyway, so whatever.
I don't have what it takes to rub your back.
See, I love a project.
Oh, okay.
On Mary Tag. We're going to couples counseling.
Okay.
Martin the Warrior is the therapist.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
He just sends us each prophetic dreams, and then it's like, oh, I love you.
And I think I'd fuck Nimbalo the Slayer. Because he's the Slayer.
Yeah, right. He's about to slay you.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. All right. I'm in on Nimbalo. The guy's got big dick energy. All right.
Yeah, he does.
He's like a tiny little mouse.
See, for me, that's the thing. Like, I guess I would also fuck him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I could not marry him because he's got issues. They both have severe childhood issues. Ultimately.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, I've only chosen fuck two people.
No, Mary Forel.
Oh yeah, Mary Forel. She's just, she'd be my knight in shining armor.
And then I would kill Sister Alkanet because God, she needs to chill.
I would kill Grooven.
Oh yeah.
Just because
it would be satisfying.
Yeah, he seems like a chinless bitch, and I want to hit him in the head.
Yeah, he's a big loser. Loser behavior. That's my word for the summer. If you see anyone doing something lame.
Loser.
Call them loser. Say they're exhibiting loser behavior.
I was thinking that today. I think I got like cut off by like a minivan, and I was just like, fucking loser.
Loser behavior.
And I was like, wow, that hurts. Like if he had heard me call him a loser, like that would have really hurt his feelings probably. I
almost got cut off by a truck on Milwaukee the other day, and usually I am immediately filled with rage and like scream something like fuck you, and I just said, love it. Hey man. His window's open, he looked at me and was like, oh sorry.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
What just happened to me?
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. How do you feel?
I feel good. I'm so happy to be back.
Me too.
We're in the Lincoln Lodge with our wonderful producer, Christine. Mm-hmm. We love being at the Lincoln Lodge.
The Lincoln Lodge is probably like the hottest new club in Chicago right now.
Yeah, I would say.
It's been a fun hang. I mean, I have shows and I try to end up at the Lincoln Lodge at the end of the night because it's always a good time. Yeah.
The bar looks like your grandfather's basement. Mm-hmm. Cool grandfather's basement.
Yeah, your grandfather who like has a great liquor cabinet's basement.
And like when he dies, your grandma's like, oh wait, he kept all his guns at the bank because I said you shouldn't have guns in the house. Yeah. Now we're talking about my grandpa.
He had bank guns.
He had bank guns.
Yeah. Oh, and he builds a a car that can only go on railroad tracks. Now we're talking about my grandpa.
Oh, a personal train.
Yeah, a nutcase.
Amazing. Well, see us next week with Grandpa Cast.
Yeah, Grandpa Cast. No, but we'll be reading Oathbound. And
yes.
Yeah, we're excited.
Read along with us. It's like, I think it's like $4 to get a paperback copy if you don't want to wait for the library. Yeah. Anyway, bye.
Bye.